today is I think, a historic day as we take further steps into rehabilitating our inmates. Ever since I have taken a pause, we have started brainstorming about what could be done. And a couple months ago, I approached Ms. Peggy Andrews Richardson about a couple of ideas, and she said, well, let's do this, buddy. And it started there. And we've been having a couple of meetings back and forth, and then we also met with Mr. Deshawn, who is a representative of MIC. And we also made a site visit as well. And after all that, we said, okay, now we can do this. So we're moving on to the first step of signing this MOU today. I believe it is a great step in the rehabilitation of our inmates, because it's not just about being incarcerated. What you do while you're there is very important. And the work that needs to be done at the prison, for example, the repair of the chapel, the repair of the workstations, the repair of the generator room, can be done by them as well. This would also be a cost saving for government, and I think it's a win-win situation because they come out certified, whether it's level 1 or level 2, masons, carpenters, roof builders. So all in all, we look forward to the next step, which is the SLA, and then we look forward to starting the program and making sure that we have the money to execute it. And this is definitely the first step in the right direction.
How many inmates will be follow this program?
That still has to be decided. An assessment of each inmate has to be done. Also, their area of interest would also has to be done. And then we also have to make sure that we have enough security officers, or prison guards then, that will accompany each class.
What procedure will be used in selecting the inmates to follow the program?
Well, we already have programs running. We have the remedial English, we have a general English course, we have the GED course. We also bought 10 computers that have been set up and ready to give classes in those program classes. So based on that, we kind of know exactly where the level of some of the inmates are. So based on that, we can determine the next step.
The inmates undoubtedly will be rewarded with a certificate and what have you. But is there any sort of compensation for they following the program?
They also get paid while they do work in the institution. Mr. Kelly, anything?
No, I think the signing of this memorandum of understanding is important because when an inmate leaves the prison with the same skill set that he entered with, he will be involved in the same activities again. So the benefits are, if you take it very simply, if you get education, that means that the chance of rehabilitation is much bigger. That also means that the taxpayers' money that have been used to keep them in prison will be less. There will be less crime, and also there will be less person to make use of the social welfare system. That also means that the community will be safer, and with the education, with the certificate, they will get a job. When they get a job, you get around the circle. They will pay taxes. The community will be safe, and so on and so on.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Minister, the three-day conference recently held and organized by the Department of Sport. How is that information intended to be used in that the ministry is better able to gather information as it pertains to the various sports organizations on the island?
Thank you very much for your question. As I indicated, that survey was handed out to all the participants, and the ministry is awaiting the results so that they can analyze that information and be able to share it with sports organizations, with the ministry itself, so that it can better plan and better support the organizations on the island. So it's going to be used, and it's going to be used well. As I also indicated, the Department of Sports did also present an overview of their planning for the year 2019. And so that also will be taken into consideration as the Ministry of Sports promote sports and work along with all the sports organizations on the island.
The meeting in New York was a necessary meeting. After all the months of less progress at the rehabilitation of the airport, it was important for this government to meet with the bondholders. And mind you, there are 3 bondholders in total. The aim of the meeting was, first of all, to get acquainted, because don't forget, this government have tried for months to get at the table with the bondholders. For mysterious reasons, it was not made possible. But finally, we got to a high-level meeting in New York, which included our government representatives, the NRPB, the World Bank, the EIB, the Dutch government, and the stakeholders. Now, what the aim was of this meeting was to re-establish trust between the bondholders and the airport and the government. The second point of attention was to have discussions on allowing the bondholders, because of the indenture note that is existing, to have an additional loan next to it. And I'm referring with this to the $100 million loan facility that we are busy making available. Another point of attention was the issue surrounding the insurance proceeds that are parked in a secured account by the bondholders. And I must say that even though it was a very lengthy meeting, we came to a mutual understanding to continue the talks and to finalize and to make sure that the credit facility, the loan facility that is made available, that it's acceptable to all parties and that can be put in place at the earliest possible convenience.
Hey, Ma. How you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know. You're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact Wib today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you for?
Sometime after the hurricane, with the change of government rather, I had taken a step back after the election. Not taken a step back, but like I've said once on a program, sometimes one needs to be silent in order to be heard. You hear the old people say, the silence is deafening. When you talk, it sometimes get lost in translation. It's like, he again. So you stay quiet. Let it all play out. And today we see that what I've been trying to fight off the Dutch about, while I was saying it's an indecent proposal, no, it is unacceptable, guys, we can't go down that route. We had others who just were hungry to get in power, using the condition of the hurricane, the aftermath of the hurricane, to mislead the people and say Marlin and his government blocking aid. And we heard statements like, just tell us what we got to do and we're going to sign it because we want the aid. Well, it is indeed sort of deja vu. The Dutch government continues to move the goalpost. It was not a clear-cut, if you want to call it, agreement. Listen, this is it. And these are the conditions. And like my position from the beginning was, the conditions for financial support, we have no problem with them if you tell us we are not going to give you money to spend on race cars or to spend on going to the beach. We are going to give you money to rebuild homes. We are going to give you money to help those who have lost their jobs. We're going to help you put money into rebuilding the economy. But what we see is, before they can agree to dispensing anything, it was like St. Martin has to live up to several conditions. One, the integrity chamber, the way they wanted it, and we had been fighting it off, has to come. Their style, reporting to them. They wanted control of immigration. They wanted control of border control. Those MPs that wanted to get in power agree. They agreed to things that they had not even read the fine print of. And a year and a half after, rather than we seeing all the roofs have been fixed and the schools have been fixed and the library has been rebuilt and, the airport is moving. What we see every time you reach at another juncture, every time there is a need for a drawdown, so to speak, there are new conditions. And there are new conditions. You started out by pointing out that MP salaries must be cut. That is not the reason why I am here. That is not the reason why I'm saying, hey, St. Martin, we got to fight because they want to touch our salaries. I am saying it is wrong, fundamentally wrong for the Dutch to continue to blackmail St. Martin because we have evolved in the colonial structure that we were in. We didn't ask to be colonized, just like all the other countries in the Caribbean and all the other colonies all over the world. We didn't ask for it. It is something wrong that the European countries did 300 and 400 years ago. They set out conquering other countries, and not that because you and I have a fight and we fight over something. They set out so-called to discover the new world, but rather than okay, if you discover people living peacefully in their country, you try to maybe trade with them, you visit them as a tourist, you invite them back to your country, but you don't find out that a couple of streets lower down in your neighborhood or higher up the hill in South Reward, there are people living, and you go and invade their home, invade their sanctity, take what is theirs, take possession of their house, their car, and then make the man, his wife, and his children work for you for free on ridiculous circumstances, beating them if they don't work hard enough, don't feed them adequately. Most of them die out young. And then you call that taking care of people or loving people, and then 300 years after, you still can't let go. And you are coming back now with modern tactics to kind of fool the rest of the world, because we know that there is an ongoing process in the United Nations for the decolonization. And by a certain time, the United Nations is saying, hey, people should no longer have colonies. Okay? You should no longer have colonies. Countries should be free, but the countries are free to enter a relationship or maintain a relationship with you. But you can never enforce your will upon another nation.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Stephanie Medina, and I play football with the Walichi Women soccer team. I have represented St. Martin in many different games. For example, the Dutch Caribbean Women's Soccer Cup. I played against Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao right here in this stadium. Sports matter to me because it makes me happy, it keeps me fit and healthy, and it is very fun. So I asked the business community to take on this challenge and help us rebuild our facilities. And I also asked the community to nominate the local businesses in your area and take on the challenge and step up for sport. Why? Because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sport Facebook page for more information. Hashtag sports matter. Hashtag are you in?
You're now looking forward to establishing a new library. Funds have been made available to you through means of fundraisers and what have you. Approximately up to now has been made available to the library in an effort to realize the re-establishment of the building again.
There has been the biggest fundraiser, of course, was done by Laser 101 on the 25th anniversary, and I think, I'm not quite sure, but we have about 50,000 guilders from that to bits and pieces. And of course this from the Firefighters Foundation is another 10,000 guilders, so it's 60,000 in total, and then some people also donated funds. But with that amount of money you cannot build a new building. That we need some serious funding. And we are still hoping that we might get some piece of the World Bank pie, but that runs through government, and that remains to be seen. But it's not impossible, but we have no firm commitment as yet.
Is there a time frame as to when you would have loved to see the new library?
Well, I'd love to see it like yesterday, but no, in all honesty, it would take quite a while. It takes a couple of years. Because first the old building needs to be demolished, and architectural plans need to be made. It needs to be tendered, funding, construction, and it takes time.
The transition period, as I asked Mr. Martins, how has that been for the library?
Well, it was very stressful because we had to move it from one day to the next. We signed with, we're right now located at Mr. Adolfo's building upstairs. So we had from the 22nd until the 1st of March, we officially opened. So now we had to work hard, staff-wise. We did put in a lot of work in order to get it going, and it was quite stressful, I must say, for all. But let me just say, we made it. We are there.
What's your flow of traffic? What kind of traffic do you have to your new location?
It's basically the same kind of traffic that we have, but now we are in a smaller scale at the library. It's smaller, and we still have the adults, children, seniors are coming in, so we still have basically the same kind of traffic that we had before.
Are you comfortable?
For right now, we are, but we are looking for a bigger and better place for us, because not all the books are out, so we are limited in space. So really we are looking for a larger space in order to house all of our books that we have.
Let me ask you a very personal question. What do you do as the managing director of the library to ensure that your staff, quite a few of them, are comfortable within the contents of this small space that you're referring to?
Well, pertaining to staff, we have a team. It's a team venture. It's not just, one person. So whatever has to be discussed, we discuss it among the team. So we move from there in order of getting it going. So whatever the staff decides, not, any grievances that they might have, they bring it forward, and then we discuss it and we find a solution in order to move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me take this note in order to say thank you to the St. Martin, the FFF, on this great donation that they have given us. The thoughtfulness, in order of doing something for, it's not just the library, like was said, it's for you, the people of St. Martin, community of you. Thank you so much.